Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Flying and Eating. Today, let's go somewhere and do something, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey guys, it's Adam here. In the last few episodes of Flying and Eating, I went out to Tokyo, Japan, and a whole lot of stuff has happened. The thing that burns in my brain, though, is on the last episode I had really, really bad Chicago, quote-unquote, style deep dish pizza. Anyway, yeah, it was fun all the same. So this one's going to be kind of insane. There's a lot going on here, so enjoy.
Ohayou gozaimasu. So today we're going to slightly recover from last night's pizza. The adventure was fun. The food was not. Anyway, that's fine. So this morning I'm just doing the simple basic breakfast here. We're going with a one of these fruit sandwiches, which they describe as mandarin orange and whipped cream. These are pretty cool, but this is just kind of a basically like equivalent to a morning pastry type of thing. As well as a coffee. This is the Georgia brand, which is Coca-Cola again. It says their logo right there. And this is the hot latte. This is one of the ones that come out of the hot bar. So they have the ones in the fridge that are chilled, then they have the special hot ones, then they have some of the chilled ones that are in the hot bar so that they are hot when you get them. But this one specifically is only sold in the hot area. It's just for morning coffee. Now what are we going to do today? Well, last night I was reminded of something that exists in Tokyo. Something has definitely been on my list that I very much wanted to go to, and I completely forgot it was even an option, so, oh, we're going. So people might wonder when they come here, what is the Japanese proficiency in English? Like, what if I truly do not speak any Japanese, and for whatever reason I'm not willing to learn a couple phrases, which shame on you, because it's really not that hard, and it makes your life a lot easier. The average Japanese doesn't really seem to speak English. A lot in the hospitality industry will, but you have to understand, a lot of them speak it better than they act like they do. Not because they're trying to be nefarious or hide anything from you. It's just that speaking a language poorly is considered very embarrassing. And they're all very aware that they don't speak English that well, except for the some that occasionally do. So it's one of the central goals of Japanese society is to prevent embarrassment for yourself or for others. Since the language is not native to them, and that they feel a sense of embarrassment speaking it only because they think that you're going to have a hard time understanding them, and that's their fault, etc. It's just easier for them to kind of just speak Japanese. But, you know, you will occasionally just get a few words here and there. Like, I've never had a real problem with it. I've never really attempted to have any sort of lengthy dialogue, certainly, but I'm perfectly functional, but it really helps. I promise you, just learn a few phrases like I've been teaching you throughout all these videos. It really makes life a lot easier. Heads up to any Australians watching. If you come here, they got bikes specifically for you guys, so you're set. So I feel a little bad. On this trip I haven't taken you guys to a whole lot of historical stuff with much cultural significance, so I want to amend that today. I've mostly been just taking you to like chains and things. So we're going to take you to something that has a lot of cultural significance. It's definitely not a very common thing that you're going to be able to see, and uniquely it's available here in Japan. The Starbucks Reserve Roastery. You can laugh, but like, this is a real thing. Let's talk about this. So the Starbucks Reserve Roastery is, there's only 6 of these in the entire world. I actually talked about this in one of the Seattle episodes. There's one in New York, there's one in Chicago, there's one in Seattle, there's one in Shanghai, there's one in Milan, and there's one here in Tokyo, Japan. These are not Starbucks, like a standard Starbucks. You see a standard Starbucks anywhere. Starbucks Reserves, as you can see, based on the size of the building, is gigantic. It's multiple floors of like super fancy coffee. People inside will have like suits on, they hand you a menu, everything is like craft specials. They're usually completely insane, and it's very expensive, but it's also like the only time I've ever had coffee I've described as smooth before, like whiskey aged barrel coffee and stuff. Like, it's awesome. So I've been to the 3 American ones. I've never done any of the international ones, so this will be an absolute first for me. So as you can see inside this place, it's Disneyland. They have menus and all sorts of stuff, special merch. They have like a bar where they make food. You can see coffee kind of comes in on these like piping systems, grounded up there, different types of coffees. Lots of information, obviously, both in English and in Japanese. This would be the Japanese specific merch you could get, special mugs and tumblers and that kind of thing. You can buy all sorts of random stuff if you want to. It has other information about the other locations, like I said. This is the Milan one. I've not been there. I have been here in New York. the Chicago one. This is the world's biggest Starbucks Reserve and biggest Starbucks. I've been there, and now I've been here. So I've been to 4 of the 6, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and I guess they sell a puzzle of that if you want to do that. Very cool. Yeah, and then you can buy specific bags of coffee, different flavors. We will have to come up with what we're going to do specifically, but this has multiple floors, so there's food, there's also bread specifically, not just like sandwiches. There's the tea bar, coffee bar. What did I tell you? Tokyo isn't a city, it's a city of cities. You can't come here and just wander around aimlessly. You have to have specific goals. Thank you, Starbucks Reserve, for proving my point. So when you get here, if you need the bathrooms, it's in the basement. You can also, if you're not sure where that is, just say toiletoir, dopo desu ka, and they'll point you here. First floor, we've already kind of showed you. Second floor is the Tea Havana bar, so it's just tea. Third floor is cold brew bar. We'll probably head up there. And then the 4th floor is a lounge. We're gonna go explore. This would be the tea bar. This is not really my thing, but it's here. We're gonna go look for coffees. But they show you all the random merch and stuff you can get. Teapots, teacups, different types of tea, etc. So we're now on the 3rd floor where it talks about different type of coffees. Look at this. Each one of those is a different type of coffee. They don't necessarily have them all, but they have had them at some point. And once again, it spells out Tokyo. From on the 3rd floor, you have this nice little terrace type of look, and you can look out on the city, or well, part of the city of cities, but you get my point. And then we've got pastries. Very cool. Take a look around. Realistically, this is where I'm coming back to, is the cold brew bar. I like to get the drinks that are completely exclusive to the Starbucks Reserves. There's no point in getting a drink that you can get anywhere. We'll be back though. We will be back. So we are now up on the 4th floor, which as I understand it is really just a lounge area for people to hang out and have their drinks. They do obviously serve some stuff up here, but it looks like just a lot of machinery stuff, some Rube Goldberg type stuff. A symphony of beans. They'll pump into this thing. Yeah. Pretty cool. But anyway, you guys get it. That's a special reserve area where they do something. But anyway, that's good for now. Let's go downstairs and pick up a drink. A slight amendment to what I said earlier. This is on the 3rd floor. It's actually all coffee alcohol drinks. So this is alcohol. We do this the one in Chicago too, but yeah, here they completely separated. So this 3rd floor stuff is, from what I can tell looking at the menu, is almost entirely alcohol based. So the stuff I'm gonna want is down on the 1st floor. So let's go. But I mean, I looked at the menu, which by the way is also in English. You can actually just scan a QR code and check your phone and all that. And I think a lot of people would be having a lot of fun over here. So what I went with right now is that they have like a special nutty macchiato or something, and you can get it hot, you can get it cold, you can also get the type of coffee. They have 3 different variants in there, and the girl said that she recommended the middle one, which is like citrus and grapefruit or something like that, as like the basis for the espresso. I'm telling you guys, Starbucks Reserve is not the same as a Starbucks. It is the super fancy version. I highly recommend going there if you ever get the chance. I've got my little buzzer, which you hand to them. They also give you this receipt that says specifically to hand that to them as well, I guess for verification of the order. Japanese like stuff, very specific sequences, which is all good. But it's cool watching them sit here and make all this stuff. We got the caramel nut macchiato, the special fancy drink, only done here currently. This like cream puff type of thing. I guess there were 2 versions, like a melon one and a chocolate one. I forget which one I got. I just got what she recommended. And then we also got this, like a prosciutto, basil, croissant type of sandwich, because, you know, hungry, flying, eating, ha 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 ha. Okay, this is a lot better than I was expecting. It's like a perfect combination of sweet, savory, and meaty. It's really good. Wow, Starbucks usually doesn't do very well with the food, but I mean, the Reserve, man, especially a Reserve in another country where they care more about quality standards. Yeah, this is awesome. So this is probably stupid of me, but I thought that was like a little tag or something. Nope, that's a little bit of chocolate. That's pretty cool. So inside, you can see the cream filling. It's kind of, I guess you can kind of think of it like a donut. That's like a chocolate hazelnut melon flavor. Oh, this is incredible. This is bomb, dude. Terrible for you, obviously, but wow, this is good. Perfect backdrop. That's really good. Oh my God. I mean, I'm not usually one for the sugary coffees. I really just do this just to show you guys stuff like this because, you know, you want something that's unique, exclusive, whatever. I'm more of a black coffee guy, as I've said a million times, but there's something to be said about a high-quality dessert cup. This is really good. Man. You should go to a Starbucks Reserve. There's 6 of them on the planet. Go to your nearest one. This is a very good one. Wow, props to the Portuguese. Japan's got you covered. Only the Portuguese people are going to understand this reference, but it's there for you. Just for the record, I am staying near this thing, the Gundam factory with the giant Gundam robot. I would take you there, but I can't even begin to express how much I do not like anime, so I have no interest in going over there. But if you do, and I know a lot of you do, this is a thing. So I'm currently staying in Chinatown, Yokohama. So what you're looking at is not Japanese, it is Chinese, but within Chinatown, Japan. Well, Chinatown, Yokohama. Just thought it was nice looking. Thought you guys would appreciate it. To continue that look, I thought I'd show you just a couple other random little spots around the area. See those like golden, I don't know, dragons. I'm not really sure what they're supposed to be, but it's a nice area. It's been very affordable, which is always very pleasant, but part of that is just the fact that the yen is so down, but I've had a very nice stay here so far. So I'm going to pick out a coffee, and of course there's a million different varieties. Now, I'm going to take the opportunity as we look at all these different versions of Pepsi and Coca-Cola and all that. People often ask, like, what's the deal? Like, why does Japan have like a million different versions of stuff? And the only way I can really explain this is the way it was explained to me, is that it helps to break up the monotony. So Japanese lifestyle is very rigid, everything's very formal, it kind of has to adhere to a very specific set of, you know, schedules and everything. They don't have as much, I don't know. The idea basically is the reason we'll have so many different versions of flavors of things is it's almost like a mental cigarette break. It's like, oh, something different, let's try that. It helps to break up the monotony of the day. At least that's how it was explained to me. Okay, so here's the plan. I wanted to take you guys to like a nice udon place, and the highest recommended one per Google that vaguely within the area actually is back down in Yokosuka. So we're going down there, we're gonna see how this is. And apparently they take credit cards, which is just, oh, perfection. Okay, we've arrived. No, not Paradise at Good Oldies Live. No, we're going here. I'll put the name on the screen. This is a tempura udon, and it's got like some fried stuff. Like there's pumpkin in there. There's various types of, you know, vegetation, for lack of a better word. But overall, yeah, this is gonna be good. I like udon a lot. So I just came out of there. Woo, I'm sweating because, you know, steam from the soup. It's really good. Well, soup, you know, it's udon. Very, very good. This was totally worth the trek. The menu could be a little confusing, but they had like a tablet and everything that was in English, so I can just kind of point and stuff and whatever. So, yeah, this is kind of off the beaten path, even though Yokosuka is very much full of my kind. I don't know, man. It's just kind of hidden behind like a wall, and it just looks like a relic from another era. But it's really good inside. Highly recommended. It can be a little complicated at first to kind of figure out what you're doing, but once you get something, it's pretty good. I know I mentioned this once in Portugal, but if you ever see this, WC stands for water closet. It is referring to the bathroom, so keep an eye out for that. I decided to take a stroll down to Wheaton Street at night, even though I've shown you guys this already, and I didn't notice this the first time. George's Cantina. The Star Wars nerd in me just couldn't help but laugh. Interesting observation about Yokosuka is because there's so many Americans, they actually, a lot of places accept USD. Ohayou gozaimasu. I'm here at Station Square in Machida, Japan, with a big tree there and everything. Station Square, Sonic Adventure reference for anybody who ever played those games. Really very cool. It's a real place. Anyway, so what we're doing today is I'm meeting up with Joseph again, and we're going to go do a big whole adventure all over the area where we're going to look for video games and all sorts of cool, nerdy stuff. This is unique, though. Joseph has a car, and he's willing to use it. That's a luxury in Japan. I think I've been in a car in Japan one time. It's not a common thing. They make a lot of cars, but you only drive when you absolutely need to. We're driving like Americans because we want to. Hey, guess who's back? Hey. So we're gonna go cruising now. We're in his car.
And I'm seated like where I normally would be in a car, except it's Japan, so they drive on the opposite side. So Joseph and I have got to our first destination, which is a hard off over there. And well, this is what we're cruising in. You want to tell us a little bit about this thing? I mean, you're taller than your car. Look at this. By a significant amount.
So yeah, 1987 classic Mini Cooper. Straight from England. Had this for 10 years. Restoration top to bottom. Probably spent $1 billion yen, but it was worth it.
It's a pretty cool little car to roll around in, man. Everybody's just staring at us. So we came out of there. I was irresponsible. He tried to save me.
I tried.
He did. He actually got me this really nice discount. I didn't even know you could haggle at a hard off. Yeah. All right, I'm not going to say the thing we got. That'll appear on a video eventually. When we were discounting, we were haggling over it. There was no real haggling. He just kept saying, "Oh, discount, the discount." And the guy, like, I thought at first he was looking like, "No, I can't do that." Then he goes away, comes back, and then he comes back with, like, he types out his discount offer. I was expecting like tops $5. He's like 10,000 yen, which is like, it usually would be like $100. Right now it's like $70 as a discount. I was like, yeah, let's do that. That's good.
Always ask. You never know.
That was a good deal.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And then no tax. I did well.
Very well.
I still spent stupid money, but I did well on the stupidity.
It's worth it.
I mean, this is the best way to put it, right?
Yeah.
So what'd you get here?
I got a Pepsi refresh shot.
All right, so what's the deal with this?
It's basically just shot of Pepsi. It's not necessarily an energy drink, but it's just if you want a Pepsi, but not a full bottle of it, you get little tiny Japan-sized cup.
I remember trying this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like a lot sweeter and more concentrated than a normal Pepsi.
Yeah, I think that's the better argument. That's not necessarily energy, but it's just a sweeter punch of Pepsi in a can.
It will refresh you with a shot.
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
And I need it because we're driving to about 50 hard offs today. So on Veterans Day.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you for my service, Adam.
I did.
No, really.
I literally just said it.
Oh, thanks. No, thanks.
It's on camera. Like, you got audio of it. I said, thank you for your service. Thank me for my service. I just did. Yeah, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you for my service, Adam.
I did.
But you should be driving me around.
I can't drive stick shift or on the wrong side of the road, and I don't have a Japanese driver's license. Other than that, flawless plan. Yeah, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you for my service, Adam.
I did. Okay, so we actually found a store that sells Ramune. This is not common. Like I said, this is usually just in novelty stores and import stores. Japanese people don't really drink this. Alright, I like the obsession with 7-Eleven merch. And I don't like anime, but even I gotta admit, this is awesome. 7-Eleven Gundam mech. So we've gone to a few stores, seen some weird things, we both got some stuff. He spent a little less money than me.
A little bit.
And anyway, we're gonna eat now. So we're actually at a place called Jonathan's. Now, what's the deal with this? What do you know about this? What's the history? What's the trend?
I really don't know a lot. I know it's like family friendly. They're trying to, it's like a play on Denny's. It's comfort food in Japan, but they cater to really foreigners. It's just like the steak, pasta, and things like that, I believe.
Basically, the Japanese love the concept of the Americana diner. And so they make up fake chains that don't exist in the United States. Jonathan's in every way embodies this. It's not Japanese food. It's like completely the Japanese take of what they think Americans are eating. Yeah. So like I'm sure they'll have it. The hamburger that's like a steak.
Steak burger.
Yeah, but it's not a burger. There's no bun. It's it's the hamburger.
Cheese on it or something.
Yeah, like it's like on a plate. You'll see, but basically we're only pointing this out. It's like if you ever come in here and you're like, what's with all these American diners, like chains I've never heard of? That's why. These are meant for Japanese people to pretend like they're eating what Americans are eating. But we know full well we're not eating that. But we are. I mean, we're good. But, you know. So we sit down, and they have the robot delivery cat. Do you guys remember the episode in Portugal? This exact machine came out and just delivered food to us, and here it is at a Jonathan's in Japan. I cannot escape RoboCat. So they don't have waitresses here. They have tablets. And fortunately, the tablets can be switched into English, which is, of course, what we did. This is the hamburger steak thing I was telling you about. It's just like a burger covered in slop and presented like it's fried chicken. Which is funny. They also, at this place, proudly use Aussie mate beef down there. There you go, down there, beef. Look at that. We can have 100% Australian Tasmanian beef hamburger in black tiger prawn fried.
So while Joseph tries to figure out what he's getting, I'm going to head over here to the drink bar. Drink bar is like infinite reload, so you have your, soda machine, all that, iced tea, green tea, vegetable mixed drinks. This is actually pretty good if I remember. The grapefruit juice. You also have the coffee bar and the tea bar. So yeah, I'm going to be hitting this. All right, let's see here. We got some soup or whatever this word was. What was the word?
Pottage.
Pottage and salad. And that. Whatever that says.
Use for a bill.
Hi. All right. Later. Thank you for your service. You too. You weren't ready for that.
No, I was.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you for my service, Adam.
I did. Okay, so we ordered various things. He got a salad over here. I got pottage, which is it's an English word that I did not know. This is kind of ironic. I'm teaching him some Japanese. He's teaching me English. And I just have the special Jonathan's juice and a coffee. All right, food is here. We accidentally took that thing, but we put it back because we're foreign gaijin. We don't understand. Yeah, there you go. He's taking his corn and whatever. I'll grab my hamburger helper or whatever. There we go. Put that right there. And I'll grab the, well, I guess you can grab it. Thank you. Grabbing the bread. And there we go. Thank you, little robot future overlord. When Skynet takes over, I hope you guys remember that we liked you and not all of us forced you into this lifestyle. She won't even look at me. I don't think she likes me very much. Alright, later. Thank you for the food. Goichi-sasama deshita. So here she is, the hamburger steak, which is just a burger, and some tempura and tartar sauce, which I don't think they call tartar sauce. Various vegetables, tomatoes, broccoli, lemon, which is a fruit, corn, onions, some bread, some rice. What else you got going on here?
So steak, garlic sauce, some like what's it called, garnish, I guess.
Yeah.
And miso soup.
Oh, right on. Enjoy.
So we just left Jonathan's. I know the car's loud, I apologize. What'd you think of your food?
It was great. It was steak and rice. It's actually pretty standard for me here in Japan, but for comfort food, it's obviously not Japanese food by why we're here in Japan. But I thought it was great. It was great steak for what it was. It's like what, $12 the exchange rate, so I like it a lot.
Yeah, he's right. It's Americana, comfort food. This is not the type of thing where I would sit down and be like, oh yeah, you definitely have to hit up Jonathan's guys. Like, you gotta come here. It's more like if you are a tourist who's like, I miss home, but like this is not a bad alternative just to check it out. The drink bar is actually probably my favorite part, just because you have unlimited coffees and espressos and stuff. Kind of reminds me of like an airport lounge or something. That was pretty cool. The food itself was good. It was definitely the unique Japanese interpretation of what Americans eat, because again, we don't really eat that. But yeah, certainly not bad, not amazing, but definitely a thing to keep an eye out for. Although I will say this, the little bread roll,
the amazing.
Bread roll was bomb. Like, it had no right to be as good as it was. It's just a bread roll, but it's not just a bread roll.
So we've got a little surprise for you. We are now technically in the United States of America, sort of. We're in like a holding pattern zone. This is like the nebulous area in like an airport.
Yeah.
So like right back over there, you crossed onto part of the military base. This is like a visitor center. Which base is this?
Camp Zama.
Camp Zama. Say that again?
Camp Zama.
Camp Zama. So it's one of the U.S. military bases. We have to go through the formal like next move process, and then we're truly, truly back in the United States. So you can kind of, again, think of this like the international area of an airport. Technically American soil, technically sort of Japanese soil. Technically, you understand, technically. Technically. So we've officially legally crossed and all that sort of stuff, and we are now technically now back in the United States. And you can see that. You've got Bank of America over here, obviously. You have American-style, like, newspaper things, like, feels like you're walking around in Manhattan and all that. Ice machines, like, we're essentially at a Walmart clone, if you will, my understanding. Just a store. Parking spaces are bigger for American cars. Granted, you're still driving, like, Japanese style other side of the road and all that. But actually the layout is kind of interesting as you cruise around and you look at some of this. The layout is more spaced. It's intentionally designed to feel like an American suburb because legally it is. See, look at that. The temperature's in Fahrenheit. That tells you everything you need to know. And as you know, well, actually maybe you don't know this about me, I'm completely pro Celsius. I hate Fahrenheit. Got all sorts of Americana stuff. So it's, you know, you go inside, it's definitely designed to feel like a Walmart. Like, it is weird from my perspective as an American. I know you obviously are one, and you kind of, like, your life is kind of like this. But for me, this is bizarre because, like, it works. The psychological vibe, the purpose of these bases, at least from the perspective of, like, the stores and stuff that we're in, is you're supposed to feel like you're in Iowa. You're supposed to feel straight up like you're in the middle of America. You're not in Japan anymore. There's no Japanese stuff anywhere because you are within the United States right now. And so they have everything accordingly, even like the American style versions of Xbox and PlayStation Network and all that sort of stuff, and all the American products, American versions of TVs, including even actually the American versions of games. So when you go over here, this is all the American region coded English PS5s, Switch stuff, Xbox stuff, all that kind of stuff. This is all straight up the US builds of everything. Because, I mean, I can only say it so many times. Where are we right now?
Kamzama.
United States of America.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to get at. But yes, I mean, he was more accurate in the literal sense. Oh, check it out. Splatoon, 75% off.
This is a discount bin if you couldn't sell.
Well, yeah, it's pretty obvious. It's just weird to see that many copies of Splatoon.
Well, they sell graded games that you can't sell.
Yeah, it's water graded. So we just crunched the numbers and we verified it. So they cut it in half. It was 60 down to 30, and now it's 75%. Each copy of this costs $7.50. There's also no sales tax here. So if we wanted, and it's in dollars, it's not in yen. So, dude, as you pointed out, today is in fact Veterans Day, and I feel extremely patriotic. I'm hanging out with a veteran on U.S. soil, on a military base, on Veterans Day, during a big sale. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome, Adam Koralik.
It's Koralik. You don't even know my name. Yeah, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you for my service, Adam.
I did. So I found something in this like clearance section I think I might get. This is the Wii U grip for the gamepad, and I think it was originally 20. They dropped it to 15. Then it looks like this one's 50% off of that, but the other one, there's two of them, is 75% off of that. So I might just get it because I could use that for the future. Yeah, you can hear the Walmart music and you see all this sort of stuff. Freedom, freedom, hell yeah. So one of the things that's cool on these bases is they have all the American fast food chains. Like Popeyes doesn't really exist in Japan. Japan does have Burger King. However, this is an American Burger King, so it has the American menu. It does not have all like the weird Japanese stuff like the shrimp avocado burgers and all that sort of stuff. And I believe you said that the grease they use is different. It's actually the American style one. Is that you who said that?
I did not say that.
Somebody, I forget who was telling me that, but somebody said that like they can stomach like the American Burger King stuff on base, but they can't stomach the Japanese stuff.
That's strange. There's a Subway too. American
Yeah,
Subway.
I saw that. Yeah, there you go. American Subway. So we're inside another store that's just got like, you know, some household goods and Halloween costumes, and it's post-Halloween now, but toys for Christmas, all that kind of stuff. It should be very much set. This space is interesting because the guards, I noticed, are completely Japanese. That's not how the Yokosuka base works.
That's true. You have GIs.
Yeah, they have Americans handle it. And I know there's people out there who are like, oh, this is American occupation, you shouldn't do this, blah, blah. I want to remind everybody, the Japanese pay the Americans to stay. This is pretty significant. American power outlets. Yeah, the Japanese ones have two prongs. Usually you will occasionally find the third with the ground. The American ones, all three, man. See? It's consistent. It's consistent. He's just laughing. He's just laughing. So I was telling him earlier I once voiced a character in a Magic the Gathering game called Mana Strike. I voiced a character named Soren. They happen to have a Magic the Gathering section here, which is a game I don't play or know anything about. But this is who I voiced. So you can see he looks just like me, right? This is,
spitting image.
you can't even, there's no difference. You can see this just, whoa, it's like there's two of me. So I guess our time on base is done here, because really that's really all we can go to, or at least I as a civilian can really go to.
Yeah,
it's basically Walmart.
There's nothing else exciting on this part of the base, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
There's also like all of a sudden nighttime all of a sudden.
Yeah, it descended upon us. But yeah, so I thought you guys would get a kick out of the fact that this is technically a thing that you can sort of kind of do, is re-enter the United States briefly and go to Walmart, more or less. And if you're really craving the American versions of stuff, you just have to have someone cool that can get you on base.
Yeah.
But it's here. And we are now back in Japan, across the border. Oh, it's so weird. I don't have freedom anymore. It hurts. I can feel it being sucked out of me. Oh. The adventure for the night has concluded. We got some cool stuff, and now I need to go back to my area in Yokohama because I'm tired and it's bedtime. But you'll see Joseph again. We're gonna do something that we're just gonna do something for you guys. Honestly, you'll see. Yeah, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you for my service, Adam.
I did.
Yeah, see, I told you guys that was going to be pretty cool. That was unique, right? Anyway, so stay tuned. We are actually coming up to the last episode of this series. And for that, we're going to go out with a bang. I'm going to take you to the thing that all you weebs want to see. I'm doing it. We're going there. You know exactly what I'm talking about, but you'll see when we get there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on all the social media stuff in the description. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, Patreon, etc. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.